Through writing, I am able to lift up voices that might not always be heard. I can share stories with new audiences and inspire them to take action. That's the power of writing. Hi, I'm Lena. I'm a college freshman studying political science as well as international studies with a regional focus on the Middle East. I have a passion for advocacy, languages, playing the violin, and writing. I feel like writing allows me to share stories about what I'm passionate about while evoking emotion from my audience. I like to focus on factual and persuasive writing that has a clear call to action to encourage people to act or at least learn more about relevant issues. My family is from Egypt, so a lot of my advocacy efforts are focused on Egypt and the Middle East at large because of the personal connection I feel to the region. I am especially passionate about the refugee crisis because of its large impact on the Middle East. Through Girl Up, I have been able to take on recent events and real hardships through writing and publishing articles. I hope my words not only help people look at things with a different perspective, but care about others in the world. If you want to use your words in writing to inspire action, I've got a few tips that may just help. When it comes to writing, I follow 3 steps. I organize, research, and then write. I always like to take my time to think and organize my ideas. It helps me stay focused while writing. When you are trying to find a cause to advocate and take action for, it's best to start with a topic you are genuinely passionate about. For me, it's the refugee crisis. I encourage you to find an issue that tugs at your heartstrings and to learn more about the problem so that you bring awareness to your cause through your writing. Before you dive in deep, get your thoughts down first. Do so by answering questions such as, what is the issue? What do you want to communicate about it? And what actions do you want your reader to take? These questions will not only help you solidify your purpose for writing and refine your stance, but they will also make your pieces easier to follow because of its clear direction. I find that research helps me refine my stance on the topic I am writing about. So no matter how much I might already know about a topic, I always do research to get up-to-date information and to learn about various perspectives. You can use your research information and statistics to help people understand why the issue is important. And don't worry if you're new to writing. The most important asset a writer can ever have is passion. All writing skills will come naturally from practice and feedback from people who read your work because practice makes progress. When I first started, I had a less experienced voice. I was a work in progress, but I had the passion, which allowed me to keep writing and to improve. Okay, so let's talk about the different types of research. Primary sources are as close as you can get to what happened during a particular historical event or time. This type of source is best to inform your own stance and to create a narrative with integrity. A secondary source relates information originally presented elsewhere. Keep in mind that those sources are already reflecting someone else's interpretation and analysis factored in, so if you do use secondary sources, make sure your work presents a unique perspective. When I research, I save the links in a file on my computer. If there are specific statistics I want to include in my piece, I include it in the document too. That way, I always have my research and findings close by while I'm writing. After research, it's time to pull out a computer or notepad and start writing. Whatever you're writing, a letter to the editor, an op-ed, an editorial, long-form review, article, or other type of nonfiction writing, make sure to be concise and to effectively communicate your point or tell your story. Every piece of writing is not the same. You wouldn't want to write the same way for an op-ed as you would for a research paper. Personally, I find it important to fit the style of writing for whatever organization or media outlet you're writing for. That way, your piece doesn't come off as a departure from what their readers are already used to. Here's a quick tip. Go through past articles to get a sense of the preferred writing style. If you're writing an op-ed, look at the publication's guidelines for style and format on their website. Always think about your audience and write with them in mind. Make sure to consider both sides to any issue so that you do not alienate any readers. It is also important to appeal to the audience's sense of reason and their emotions so that they think differently about an idea or feel compelled to take action against injustice. When I'm writing, I like to create a flowchart, something like this. For each paragraph, I write down my argument, topic sentence, and supporting details. This allows me to ensure that I am communicating my intended message and that I do not repeat myself. When writing about your issue, it is very important to talk about the concrete facts of an issue, such as the statistics, but it is equally important to find a way to connect your audience through an anecdote or personal story of someone impacted by an issue. Stories are truly powerful because they tug on readers' emotions more than numbers ever can. Do not rush your writing. Take your time and get your piece exactly how you like it. When I'm writing and I'm not sure of how something sounds or if I think it can be improved, I just highlight it for the time being. Then I go back to those sections and fix as needed and ask someone to give me a second opinion. Another trick I picked up is that I read my article out loud. I find that my ear helps me catch any mistakes that I might have made along the way. Once you're happy with your writing, ask a trusted friend or professor to review it for you. Then make any changes you see fit. Are you ready to turn your passion into action? Consider publishing your writing online in a local newspaper or with an organization's blog. Girl Up takes blog submissions from girl leaders all over the world. Just remember, it is important to acknowledge both sides of any issue in your piece so you don't alienate any reader. No matter where you live, in the States or even in the Middle East, write about what you're passionate about. Your perspective and opinion matter, and writing is a great way to express it. Write about causes and issues that motivate you, because if they motivate you, your writing might just motivate others to act.